I have this memory. It's very possible that it's the first memory I have, actually. I'm 3 years old, and I'm standing in the living room, staring at this TV, and I've got my stuffed Winnie the Pooh in one hand, and I see these images of what looks like someone flying over the ocean, and a giant ball appears, and Mickey Mouse is standing on top of it, doing magic. And then it cuts to images of dancing lights in a parade, and ends with Roger Rabbit standing in a doorway. And I remember this because that was the first time I experienced the magic of Disney. On that day, a dream was born. 22 years later, another dream would be born. I'm a bit of a romantic, obviously, but I've never really subscribed to the idea of love at first sight. I know that love is a choice, but that day in October of 2012, I saw my future wife for the first time, and I knew I loved her. Of course, neither one of us was ready for that yet, so we became friends, and then best friends, and then boyfriend and girlfriend, until finally we became
husband and wife. Matthew, fine. You may kiss your bride.
this moment. This is the happiest moment of my life. There are days that I still have to remind myself that it's real, that my dream actually came true. The day was beautiful and full of joy, and 36 hours after this, I would finally get to fulfill my other dream. We got up the next morning and started our road trip to Orlando. We would have a week-long adventure through the wonderful world of Disney. The drive was long, but we had each other. And we also had unlimited data, and that really helped pass the time. After several hours, we finally arrived at the condo that we would spend our first week together as husband and wife. Of course, the first thing we had to do was film our version of an MTV Cribs episode.
This is where the magic happens.
But alas, the time for Disney had arrived. I can't begin to explain the overwhelming feeling I had seeing Cinderella's castle for the first time in person. It was truly like a piece of my imagination had been released into the real world. It was incredible. Experiencing this place with my best friend by my side is the only way I ever want to experience this place. After a while, we made it to Tomorrowland. This was a place I had always been enamored with. Anytime the Disney Channel would talk about this place, I was just enthralled. But something happened that I wasn't expecting. You see, my dad was a huge sci-fi nerd. He grew up in the 60s with Star Trek and NASA at the height of its popularity. I had forgotten that at one point my dad actually lived in Florida and had visited Disney World. Of course, this was several years before I was born, and unfortunately we never got the chance to visit Disney World together. But as Maggie and I started walking through Tomorrowland, and I saw this retro, optimistic look at the future, I realized that my dad had walked these very streets. Though 40 years separated us, I could still feel my dad walking there with me. It was amazing and sad and beautiful all at the same time, and he would have absolutely loved what this place had become today. We rode several rides and we had some amazing food, but the first day was coming to a close. As we watched the fireworks cascade over the Magic Kingdom, we knew our day was done, but that our trip was only beginning. Over the next 4 days, we visited the rest of the Disney and Universal parks. We met some incredible characters that we only dreamed of. We rode some fantastic rides. We visited the streets of New York, the Queen of Arendelle, the School of Hogwarts. We walked through the pages of a comic book, and we traveled to Jurassic Park. I even got to see the giant ball that Mickey Mouse was standing on top of during Magic all those years ago. It was overwhelming in the most perfect way imaginable. And then it was over. Life continued as we went back to work, and the magic and wonder of our honeymoon would start to fade. Except, it didn't. The trip was incredible, and I loved every moment of it. But the absolute most magical thing to happen was that I never had to say goodbye to Maggie. Instead of a kiss goodbye, I would give her a kiss goodnight. And every time I hold her hand, I feel the magic all over again. As of this recording, it's been 8 months since our wonderful trip. And even though we left Disney World long ago, every morning when I open my eyes and I see her there, I'm at the happiest place on earth all over again. I guess dreams really can come true.